YouTube, this is Bub's Comics coming at you with a quick comic haul, real quick. We've got an all DC haul for y'all, so let's get right into it. First up, we've got Supergirl #1. I really like this run. So this is the run that Michael Turner did a lot of the covers on, but there's also a lot of great variant covers that weren't his. So it's one of those runs where I'm not trying to pick up the whole run. It's quite long. It goes on for a few years. I think it might go to into the 70s or so. So I don't need that many of this run. And the Turner covers don't continue on throughout the run. They're only in the first, 15 or 20 or so. So all those numbers subject to verification. Whoa, let's make me small and get to the haul. Look at that. Hey, all right. Look, book's already ready. So there you go, Supergirl #1, and this is, of course, an homage to her first appearance. And it says, plus Supergirl meets Power Girl, which is really the storyline that I'm trying to collect. So, and there's some great fights in here between Supergirl and Power Girl throughout this little mini run. So it says, great guns, a girl from Krypton, it must be an illusion. Look again, Batman. It's me, Supergirl, and I have all Superman's powers. What? Introducing the Supergirl from Krypton. Is she friend or foe? Yeah, pretty good, huh? Oh, it's a pretty good homage. I liked it. It says Churchill after Swan. So, of course, Kurt Swan being the original artist on that. Then here's #3. This one is a Michael Turner cover. So it's got a pretty good cover there with Lex Luthor in his super suit. And Supergirl getting, I guess that's some sort of strangulation cover. I don't know. I don't get into all that stuff. So I don't bother to name it all. Pretty good there. And look at this battle between Supergirl and Power Girl. Boy, isn't that amazing? That is really something there. That is too good. It says Supergirl versus Power Girl #8. I can't even read who did that. I don't know. Very cool. I like it all day long. Very quite different heroes for them to be so similarly linked in their origins, right? So very cool. What's she holding there? I think she's got some kind of, looks like glass. It could be something from like the Phantom Zone. Was that a thing for Superman heroes? Oh, she's holding a piece of glass too. Look at that. I don't know if you can get a good look at that. Yep. So they're both holding glass. Or it could be like a shard of the Phantom Zone or whatever that thing's called, where they send them away and they're like in the glass panel. It looks like an album cover. So here's Supergirl versus Supergirl. Now, I like doppelganger covers. I've got quite a collection now. Every time I see one, I usually rescue it for $1 or whatever. So this one is Supergirl #18, Supergirl versus Supergirl, which is very reminiscent. In fact, I think it even says after Michael Turner. So there's a couple of covers. I forget which number it is, but I have 2 or 3 of them where it has the 2 Supergirls on the cover. So this is kind of a recreation of that with a cityscape, because I think the other ones just had like a plain blue background. I think there's a white one and a couple other versions of it where they're in different outfits. So pretty cool. I like that. I really like how they did the 2 different styles of Supergirl art. So I think that's pretty cool. I have to say I like this outfit, but man, I don't know. That's tough. They really both look fantastic. So love that cover. Can't go wrong with Doppelganger. We'll get off Supergirl for just a minute. And some Bronze Age horror from DC. What do you think about that? Do you dare enter the House of Mystery? So this is House of Mystery number 270. Again, I guess you call this bondage cover or whatever. But to me, it's more like just a cult cover. Because, of course, they have the dagger for some sacrificial ceremony of some sort. And he's pointing at her saying, take that dagger and do your deed. And she's tied up or whatever. I like that hair, too. That's pretty cool. So, and she's got, what's it say? Black Mass more. Oh, Black Mass plus 2 more chillers. So this is clearly the Black Mass. So, very cool. 40 center, DC. can't hardly go wrong there unless you try real hard. But we won't do any of that. So, what do you think? It's only been about 5 minutes. Let me just ask you a quick question in the community. I asked you guys last time. I think I had a video about what to do with my extra comics and sizing down. Well, one of the things that's prompted that is that I've picked up a couple of extra hobbies. So, or at least collecting. I guess collecting in and of itself is a hobby, but I've picked up a couple of more things to collect. So, of course, I already collect comics. I already do. I dabble a little in firearms. I enjoy that. Mostly shooting and odd and kind of unique things in firearms. So my point is these things take money, right? So when you have multiple collections, they take a lot of a pull at you. Also learning to play guitar, and that's taken some money because it's electric guitar. So that might have been my folly in choosing electric over acoustic, because an acoustic guitar there's a lot less to buy. Of course, I'd probably find something, but electric guitar has taken a lot of money, and that's a lot of fun and a lot of time. And then also I've started collecting steel books, so like Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, those metal case books. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see a lot of that peppering in all over the place. So my question to you is, do you guys want to see any of that crap? Should I incorporate them into my comic videos, or should I just leave them out completely? Or should I put them in separate videos? That way, because like this haul will probably be titled a DC haul, and so it'll instantaneously get half the views of my regular comic hauls, because it appears to be half the DC fans as there are Marvel fans, so it'll immediately get half the views. So I wondered if I do like if I just am clear about what the video is about, if that'll be good enough. People are like, well, I don't care about his steelbook collection, or I don't care what he's doing with guitar, or I don't care about his firearms. I just move on to something else. So and not watch it, which is fine. That's preferable, right? So, all right. Well, just let me know what you guys think in the comments. Otherwise, if you guys say nothing, I'll probably start popping in a few of them as I go, because I don't think there'll be that many less comics, because I mean, come on, comics will be a first love. So I don't think there'll be that fewer comics going forward, but there will be more of other stuff jumping in, and then I'll probably get rid of some comics just to make some room and kind of make the collection a little cleaner, and keep the value and the representation of me up, as opposed to just watering it down with just everything I see that I like. One of my main advice, right? So to collectors, especially of comics, is that when you're looking for things and you can't decide if you want to buy it or not, or even if you're too quick to decide that yes, you want to buy it, one of the things that I like to remind myself is I can like something and not own it. I can enjoy it in someone else's collection. These are things I have to tell myself, right? I can like it and not own it. I can enjoy it in someone else's collection. I'm good with not ever owning this book, because sometimes you see a book and it might even be just $1 and you're like, oh man, I gotta have it. Do you really? Like if tomorrow you wake up and this book isn't in your collection, is it gonna bother you? And sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I won't pick up a book, and a couple of days later I'm like, man, I really wish I had got that book. I really want it. Maybe I go back and get it if I'm lucky it's still there, and if not, then not. But just ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself, is this something that I really have to have? Can I just enjoy it? There's so many comic covers out there that I just really like, and I think that they're awesome, but I don't have to have them in my collection. They don't speak to me enough for me to say this must be mine. So just everybody says collect what you like, but I'm gonna put a little stumbling block in front of that, because you can collect what you like, but that's going to end up in a huge bloated collection, because let's face it, most of us like most of the stuff out there, right? So instead of just collecting what you like, collect what you can't live without. and that's going to be a much smaller group. And you can still appreciate it. You can still look up a cover online. You can still, every time you're digging, sometimes I see the same book in different stores or different locations that I'm hunting in. You know, I don't own this book, but I've seen it 20 times. I've looked at it, I've enjoyed it, I've put it back in the bin, and I still haven't bought it, you know? So there's several books like that. There's an entire Captain America run that was done by John Cassaday on the covers. He may have done the interior as well, and I'm a big John Cassaday fan. Have never pulled the trigger on that run, and I think it's a moderate run, like 12 issues or so. I've never pulled the trigger on it, but I have seen every one of those books probably 5 times in the last year because they're readily available. And they're always where I go hunting. I see them all the time. So I don't own the book, but I've seen some of those books more often than books in my own collection that I've put in a dark hole to not look at until I reorganize once a year, you know? So anyway, that's my quick little advice. When you're collecting, don't just collect what you want, what you love, and don't just collect what you want to collect. I know everybody says that, but I think that's a little too broad because you end up broke and with a huge bloated collection that doesn't really represent any value or anything to you that really stands out. It's just a big old collection. So my advice is collect what you can't live without. So there you go. That's me for this time, and we'll catch you next time on BUB'S Comics. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.